I was gonna talk about the Zenfone 5Z, but then I haven't gotten around to setting it up
Wait,
yet.
is Ryan on or not? Oh, he has to pick someone up. Okay, never mind. I was reading the original whatchamacallits. Okay.
Now I get my 3 live emails from all the services we stream to.
It's good. That helps verify that it's not broken.
Exactly.
Things broke last week. We had to start over.
That was Hangouts that broke, not anything of mine. So
I thought it was OBS that crashed.
Yeah, nope, OBS crashed last week.
It was the Hangouts window in OBS said like disconnected or something like that. So it was technically, oh wow, we are 50 followers away from 2,000 on Twitch.
Nice.
Hooray.
See, that worked out pretty well for us.
Yeah, that's weird.
Except the views. You know what that probably is I started putting a Twitch follow button in all our giveaways.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't think very many of those are translating into live views, but still.
You should probably also check the Twitch TOS and see if they allow that, because we don't want to get bananated.
If the buttons that gleam, I feel like it's probably fine.
Yeah, maybe. That's a good enough point that I'm willing to concede it for now.
Wait, how do I pop out the chat? I forgot how to do this.
Oh yeah, we have a chat and stuff down. Oh, what is Twitch?
There's a pop out chat link and pinned in podcast.
In the Slack channel?
Yes.
Twitch.com/ is it just /Android Police?
Yes. Cool. Surprisingly, no one took that URL.
That's so shocking.
Are we live? I should
Wait, we're already live?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I clicked the button a minute ago. I told you.
Oh, a minute ago. Okay. Yeah. I didn't hear you.
Okay.
I could be dropping F-bombs like crazy.
Don't do that.
Oh god, I'm getting echo. Okay, there we go. Okay, chat. Nobody's here. Awesome. How do you pop out the chat?
It just comes out.
Click the settings gear.
Oh, pop out. That's dumb. There should just be a pop out button.
I told you there's a pop out link in the Slack channel. Keep up, David.
Oh yeah, I guess there is. Fine.
You're really off your podcast game, David.
I am. What's a podcast? Let's see here.
You're so out of practice.
A podcast is a group of white males.
Yeah, that's really good, actually.
It's a little too true.
I stole that joke, but it is funny.
Where did you steal it from? I feel like I should recognize who
I think it was just a witty tweet I saw.
That's amazing.
It reminds me too much of the I think it was a College Humor bit. The everyone has the podcast thing. Does anyone know what I'm? No. Okay.
No.
College Humor, right? That's a thing that exists.
Yeah.
They're still going for some reason.
In my defense, I don't actually watch it. A friend of mine made me after she asked if we could start a podcast together.
Okay, I'm reading the stuff for the bear.
Someone said they followed thanks to the Plex giveaway. Yes.
Cool.
We have one live viewer from the giveaways. It worked.
Welcome.
Exactly.
Wow, $200 for the smart display.
We have 32 live viewers on the Twitter feed thing, the Periscope.
We're so popular.
Hi, Twitter people. I don't have it open, but hi.
So Tunnel Bear has an Android app, right?
Yeah, and Windows and Mac. And
okay.
And also, if Twitter people want to talk to us, they should go to Twitch, because that's the only thing we watch.
Yeah, I don't know how to look at the Twitter chat on my computer, so talk to us.
Well, you open the live view link.
That's too much work.
Not enough monitor space on your single ultra wide.
I only have one ultra wide. I can't do 5 different chats.
Get with the game, Corbin. Go vertical. Vertical monitors.
Vertical ultra wide.
Okay.
I always wanted an 18:9 phone that's the size of my wall.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing. It's
that's awesome.
Oh goodness.
I'll go ahead and Pull that in there. Strength of the thingamajig. I kind of want an ultra wide monitor, but then I feel like I won't like video games as much.
Yeah, because it's difficult to play them at ultra wide.
You can just play them at.
It's just there are a lot of games that don't work with ultra wides.
Yeah, it
it's
messes.
a problem. I don't think I would have any problem with like playing a game that understood the resolution correctly.
All the games I've tried work with my ultra wide, but like a few of them are just slightly.
Overwatch messes with it. You know,
Overwatch, I think, is one of the notoriously the shitty games for wides because it
crops it. It crops your FOV. Yeah.
So yeah, it doesn't give you true FOV. I think like Destiny 2 does pretty well on ultra wide, because you can have that. It says FOV slider.
Welcome everybody to the Android Police Destiny and Ultra Wide Monitors podcast.
Well, we're
talking
on
today
Twitch,
about
so
Destiny and Ultra Wide monitors, and maybe Fortnite.
Yeah, it's
all
that Note 9 exclusive Fortnite possibility.
Come on, guys! Don't forget PUBG like everyone else will.
Yeah.
PUBG sucks.
I was about to say don't spoil the show, but we don't even have that.
So are we ready to get started then? It is 5:30 or 8:30 or whatever bad time zone all the rest of you are in.
Yeah, it's 8:30, man. It's getting dark out.
Okay. All right, so we'll get started here. Welcome to the Android Police podcast. I'm your host and still exist, David Ruddick.
I'm Ryan Whitwam.
I'm Cody Toombs.
I'm Jordan Palmer.
And I'm Corbin Davenport.
And you know, before we get started today, we're going to do everybody's favorite thing and plug a sponsor. Do you need a VPN? We have one that you can use. I'm really selling this, guys. It's called Tunnel Bear, and you've probably heard of it. Tunnel Bear is pretty widely advertised, but they're also pretty great. So let's just get down to the brass tacks. Why Tunnel Bear? Well, first off, they've got pretty great pricing. You can get $60 a year, so that's $5 a month. That gets you unlimited usage. They've got apps for Android, Windows, Mac. It's super easy to set up. They're also the first company in the VPN industry to undergo a public security audit. And auditors tested their apps, code, infrastructure, and proved that Tunnel Bear really is a secure service. They take customer privacy and security extremely seriously at Tunnel Bear. And there are some VPNs out there that have been caught selling user data and doing kind of other shady things with your data they can collect via that VPN. So Tunnel Bear, if you're looking for a VPN option, which a lot of people these days are, just for the sake of privacy, really. I mean, honestly, it just only makes sense to use one. If you go to tunnelbear.com/AndroidPolice, and it's spelled just like use it, it's like an ursine burrowing creature, tunnelbear.com/AndroidPolice, and sign up. You'll help support our show. If you don't want to pay $5 a month on an annual plan, they do offer a plan for $10 a month with all the same benefits. And there's also a free tier if you just want to try it out. And again, they also have an Android app. So it's really easy to try out and set up. And thanks to Tunnel Bear for being a partner on the show. And now we are ready to actually get started. Android PDP-5 is out. There are humongously few changes.
Yeah. It's also beta 4 unless you're on an Essential phone, in which case it is beta 3. And I think on like a OnePlus 6, it's probably like beta 1.5 or something stupid like that. The naming is terrible. It's my least favorite thing about Android P so far.
It is really confusing because we have to second guess every time someone says anything about the developer previews. It's great.
Who is touching their microphone?
That was me. I just moved it.
You're
but
fired.
I'm done now.
Get off.
I won't touch it anymore. It's over.
The show is gone off the rails.
Bye, David. It's nice seeing you.
Exactly. But yeah, there are a whopping 2 changes we've noticed in this new developer preview. There is a new rotate button, and the microphone button is gone from the Pixel launcher. That's it. Those are the only changes we've noticed. Very exciting.
It is. I mean, I assume there are like API things that changed, like developer-oriented things.
This is the final pre-release build, so Google says all the APIs are now done. So that's probably true.
Yeah, but I mean, it's strange though that a number of things that Google talked about before still are not in this, like feature things. The
like the health
digital
stuff?
well-being stuff is still just not there.
Yeah, everyone was looking for that.
Yeah, no digital well-being. They'll probably save. You know what? I bet they're gonna do. It's gonna be like, boom, only for Pixels for now. Everybody else gotta wait. Because if they put in the previews, then every phone. and the preview gets that stuff.
I'd almost bet they're just going to save that for the fall, kind of like they did with Assistant and a lot of other stuff.
Oh, that's true. They could do that.
They love to announce something at I/O and then drag it forward a few months. Like they never tell you when it's coming, and then it's like, hey, in the fall, this is our new thing. Check it out.
I guess it wouldn't technically be a lie because it's still going to be new in Android P, whatever they call it, but it'll be like 9.1.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I bet that actually seems like a pretty likely outcome. But this is the last preview. So after this one, final release. So that means your Pixel 2 and Pixel 2 XL and I guess Gen 1 Pixel, right? Gen 1 Pixel gets it. So yeah, those will be getting Android P in probably the next few weeks. So that'll be good.
Yes.
Do we know if like some of the third-party devices like the OnePlus 6 or the Essential phone will be updated to stock P?
I sincerely doubt it.
I'm sure that they're going to be, a regular Android update, from the manufacturer. Hopefully they'll be a little bit faster than usual, but it's not. I'm sure it's not going to be a Pixel build.
I mean, I've been using the beta build on the OnePlus 6, and honestly, it's fairly buggy. Much buggier than it is on the Pixel 2 XL. So I think there's probably going to still be a substantial wait for a lot of these devices. I've noticed a lot of weird redraw stuff with the launcher. The keyboard crashes sometimes. The Gboard crashes. It's weird. And also, I don't know, just generally, it seems janky and unpredictable at times. So I've not been super happy with that experience. Whereas on the Pixel 2, like the P preview has been pretty perfect since the second preview. Aside from occasional, apps not working right, but that's pretty much gone now. I don't have those problems anymore.
Yeah, I couldn't get my Gear S3 to connect on Preview 2. That's when I switched back to stable.
Yeah. So that's basically what's happening with DP5. There's really not a lot of new stuff to discuss. It's the APIs are finalized now. So that's basically the green light for developers to absolutely not update their apps to use any of the new features.
Especially Snapchat. Snapchat will stay on whatever API level is Jelly Bean. I don't know what they're using.
Yeah, Snapchat is going to like downgrade. They're going to go back to old APIs.
Snapchat is excited to announce we're going to introduce like 5 new items into your share dialogue.
Also, more.
I hate the share dialogue so much. I just need the shortcuts to just go away. They're not.
I never use them.
They're never going to be good. They just need to go away and stop popping up 2 seconds after I open the main menu.
Yeah, and prevent you from tapping anything in the meantime.
Or you could let me pick which ones I want, because it is never the ones Google thinks I want. Like, all I get are pinned ones for Hangouts people that I haven't sent a message to in 8 months. It's the worst.
Oh, really? I always get Twitter contacts, and it's people that I never contacted, never DM. I don't even use Twitter hardly at all from my phone. Why on earth I get that as my main thing makes no
Telegram
sense.
never pops up. Slack will occasionally pop up, but like a PM that I haven't used in forever.
Yeah, I honestly, the app that has handled that best is Chrome, in that it just puts your most commonly used share action in the next to the share dialog on the overflow.
Yeah. So I just tap
Pocket.
I just tap share and I get a Twitter DM conversation from 6 months ago, my screenshots Google Drive folder, which is actually good. I do use that a lot. And then like random Google Drive and Slack conversations.
Okay, what kills me is I always want to send stuff to Slack, and that's the one that for whatever reason, the Slack app gets pushed to like the 3rd or 4th page of apps. And it's like, come on, I used it 15 minutes ago. Why is it resetting it again?
Yeah. It needs to go away, or let me pick it manually, please. That'd be great.
I kind of think the share dialogue is like the analog to the iPhone notification shade. Like, these are the things that the two companies did most wrong that could be fixed with very few things.
Well, I don't know. I think the Android share dialogue started out is a really good thing, because honestly, think about how hard it is to share stuff on iOS.
iOS didn't get that right until like 2 years ago, right? That's when they added the
and
the
it's
share
still
targets.
not very good.
Yeah.
Like it's still not great.
I didn't say iOS got it right. It's just the thing everyone knows sucks on iOS is their notification shade. Yeah. And the thing everyone kind of has come to realize sucks on Android no matter what, it's the share dialogue.
It is. I agree. The share dialogue is like the 800-pound gorilla of features in Android, and it's so baked in there at this point that I feel like they can't. I mean, I wish they would just rip off the Band-Aid and start over and just be like, screw it, we're getting rid of the share intent and we're going to make something new. Because the share intent is so stupidly limited. It understands like 3 types of things. It's way too few. Like it needs to be much more AI machine learning driven in terms of how it understands content. But it wasn't built like that. So, I mean, this is a feature that's been there probably since Donut, right? The share dialogue is really old.
I think they had something like it even in 1.0.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because I know I was talking to somebody on the Android team at Google I/O, and he's like, yeah, it recognizes basically 3 things: text, images, and everything else. that's the share dialogues.
Well, I mean, technically it understands infinite things then.
Yes, it understands all. The share dialogue understands all things.
The share dialogue is all-knowing.
Oh, tribute to the share dialogue. So in stories that Ryan, who couldn't be on the podcast, really probably wanted to talk about news, Qualcomm isn't buying NXP. I know Ryan was probably like doing a little dance when he wrote this. He was very excited.
Wow, he really went all out with the image.
That's an old one, but he went all out with the one he used it before.
That's one of the classic Ryan heroes.
It is. Ryan is of the opinion that Qualcomm is some kind of evil overlord. I don't know that I necessarily agree with him, but Ryan certainly does believe that. And so writing about the NXP deal, he was very excited because he believes it will preserve competition in the semiconductor space, which probably is true to some extent. NXP is very big. They're based in the Netherlands, and they make a lot of chipsets for, I think NXP is pretty big in automotive. But anyway, Qualcomm had been extending its share offer like over and over and over and over and over for NXP, and basically came down to NXP shareholders weren't going to approve the deal. And surprise of surprises, Qualcomm stock shot way up in after-hours trading as soon as they announced the deal wasn't going to go through. I don't think anybody wanted the deal. Qualcomm shareholders didn't want it.
And they have to pay a lot of money for backing out.
Yeah,
too.
they got to pay $2 billion, but investors were not dissuaded by that. Yeah. They still love the news. So I think $2 billion is getting out easy. Qualcomm makes a lot of money, and they issue dividends every quarter. So Qualcomm does pretty well. I think shareholders' issue has been that Qualcomm is a little acquisition hungry, and acquisitions generally don't yield profit. So yeah, that was 7%. That's a big gain for Qualcomm, whose stock has been flat for a long time. So yeah.
The other interesting aspect of this whole thing was that this was going on also while Qualcomm almost got acquired by Broadcom. And then if you remember from a couple months ago, there was a report, I think from the Wall Street Journal, that if Qualcomm got acquired by Broadcom, Intel would try to acquire that. So essentially you had NXP, I can't talk, NXP about to be acquired by Qualcomm, which was trying to be acquired, or that Broadcom was trying to acquire Qualcomm, and then you had Intel trying to eat it all. So this was complicated.
Yeah, Intel, I believe, sits on quite a load of cash that they don't seem to know what to do with. But this is honestly, it's a fairly boring story. It doesn't really mean much on the consumer side. And I think Qualcomm at this point is satisfied enough with their lead in 5G that that NXP isn't the biggest loss for them, and NXP will continue existing. So in news that actually has made me very, very, very thirsty, Google might unveil a 2nd-gen Pixelbook already. I need it. I need it immediately. I want it with smaller bezels, which is all I want. That's all I want on my Pixelbook, is for it to be just a little bit smaller with smaller bezels. or the same size with more screen.
Do MateBook X Pro size with a 13.9-inch.
I want it so much.
Like a Dell XPS 13 Pixel book.
Yeah, but without the webcam, placed all dumb and stupid.
3x2. You don't want 16:9.
I'm fine with a little black strip on the top to fit the webcam. I don't care. Just do like a symmetrical one on the bottom, whatever.
Oh come on! You don't like the keyboard webcam?
Yeah, the keyboard one.
It is so weird. Let me
look up so everyone sees your neck on Skype.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm here with my chest hair.
They see your fingers when you type, actually.
But I feel like Google isn't going to get rid of bezel though, because I assume the second gen one will also be tablety like the existing.
No, but it says that's part of the rumor. It's going to have smaller bezels.
It's smaller. They're still going to be. I think it's still going to be pretty bezel.
Bezels are pretty big though.
They're pretty big. They are large.
They are very large.
We're talking about bezels, right?
Yes.
The Pixelbook is not large. The Pixelbook is actually, I'm going to say, it's too thin. So what's happened is whenever I've flown with the Pixelbook, my carry-on's usually pretty packed, my messenger bag, and it puts pressure on it. And so the screen gets hot spots because the LCD gets pushed on. It's the aluminum on backing display is too thin. That's one thing Apple has always gotten right with the MacBook. The MacBook aluminum shell is rock hard. The Pixelbook's flex is really easy. I actually have a dent in my Pixelbook's aluminum backing on the lid now. Like that's a bad engineering decision the way they did that. That's the one thing about that laptop I am pretty unhappy with, and I hope the second generation makes it a little beefier to reduce the incidence of that, because it really is, to me, not acceptable in the design of a computer that's supposed to be portable. Like, it needs to be a little more robust. Other than that, the Pixelbook is basically perfect, and I sleep with it under my pillow.
That's probably where the dent came from.
Has the glass on the back scratched up at all?
It's white, so you can't even see if it has, really.
Okay.
I mean, it would be so hard to notice. You would have to really scratch it, but not that I've really seen. And I mean, I don't. That's the thing. Only psychopaths put their laptop lid down on a surface. That would just be like that. I can't imagine. Like, I would like look at somebody if they did that.
David's like, you monster.
That's like putting a phone face down on concrete. Who would do it?
David, in every review he's ever done.
Yeah, all of us that take photos.
Exactly. Gotta get that concrete photo. Beautiful.
It's so good. It's perfect.
It's good background.
Maybe I'll start actually doing it on river rocks. Like just
oh, come on, just throw it straight down on sand or broken glass. Can you do broken glass?
Yeah. Oh,
yes.
Good. I like it. I love it.
It has to be broken Gorilla Glass though, so it's just as hard as the screen and can actually scratch.
Okay,
actually,
so I know what the Pixel 3 Hero is going to be.
No, David, you need to find a bed of actual diamonds.
No, David's process for taking photos of the Pixel 3 is just throwing the phone on the ground and then throwing a bunch of nails on top of it and then taking the picture. Done. That's the
he wouldn't do that to the Pixel.
Maybe for pictures.
I would do a lot of things for pictures.
He would do this for a Sony phone.
I would do it for a Sony phone. I really would.
I think Ryan's about to.
Sony phone, I have one. I need to take pictures of it.
Oh, the XE2 Premium?
Yeah.
We're allowed to talk about it, right?
We did last week.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, that sounds. I bet it's not very good.
It's not.
That's my opinion from afar.
It's pretty bad.
Oh, really? Like, how's the screen? That's what I'm curious about.
It's fine. Like it's like it looks like every.
It's 4K, right? But downscaled.
Yeah, it's 4K. I think it actually understands that it's 4K now. Like in the OS, I can do like 4K streaming on YouTube. But like, who cares? You can't tell the difference between.
Sony's like, oh, there's so many pixels that you can't effectively see,
and it is so heavy. It is ridiculously heavy.
I bet it is.
And I feel not safe using it in bed because it's slippery and heavy, and I feel like.
Wow, that's good. That's a fun little anecdote. I can understand that. I don't feel. I had the same feeling with the HTC U12 Plus. It was too big.
fingerprint sensor. That is a bad spot for fingerprint sensor. I think I did this exact thing last week. I made everybody look at the fingerprint sensor because
I feel like if the OnePlus 2 had a rear-mounted fingerprint sensor, that's where it would have gone. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, that was an old school burn.
So back to the Pixelbook. My wish list, because I have the Asus Chromebook Flip, which I like, but I also kind of want something with a 3x2. Is that what the Pixelbook is? Yeah. I would like something like that. And then also, it's not entirely certain if Linux apps are going to come to that, and that'd be a downer.
3.2 is the best thing about.
Oh man, the MateBook X Pro is that too, and I am such a hardcore convert.
Yeah, that's my only issue with the Chromebook Flip. That's it. Anyway, so I would like, it'd be cool if they did this. If they did smaller bezels, they did it XPX 13 style, where they just made the laptop smaller and the screen was the same size.
That's true. I would love that, especially for airplanes. That's what I loved about my XPS 13 is that thing fits anywhere.
Yeah.
But I mean, there were a lot of other downsides. So
there were many other problems.
It's
and the other thing I really want is 4G, because there were rumors 2 months ago that Google was working on 4G support. Well, no, I can't remember what the exact wording is, but part of it was that a future Chromebook would work on Project Fi. Like they specifically said Project Fi.
So I know we've seen the guys over at Chroma Box have been covering it. There's a Qualcomm reference design running Chrome OS in development. So like any Chromebook that runs a Qualcomm chip is gonna have an LTE modem, like without a doubt.
Yeah.
So
because it would be more work to take it out at that point if it's
exactly. Like it's already in the package, so it's a minor cost add. And my question is, so on the Pixelbook, I don't want them to move to a Qualcomm processor because it's too slow. Intel's still got the single thread performance. The Pixelbook flies with Chrome OS, and that's what I love about it. I think with even the very best Qualcomm could muster, it would be a serious performance downgrade in some respects. Like I'm not doing any gaming on my Chromebook, so I don't care about the GPU. That doesn't matter. I just care about single thread CPU performance because that's what's driving JavaScript. So I hope they stick with the Intel. And I sincerely doubt it would be a Qualcomm modem. It'd probably be an Intel modem or somebody else. So I just hope it doesn't really impact the battery life too much. But I do want a modem because with Project Fi, that would be the one thing that would make me stick with Project Fi. If they put a modem in the next Chromebook, I'll stick with Project Fi. If they don't, I'm getting off Project Fi because, frankly, the service quality is fairly garbage, and also I use too much data for it to be like a big deal. Like it's cheaper than Verizon by $5. So I'm getting a lower quality of service, but I'm getting the free international roaming, which I do like. So there are definitely some trade-offs, but yeah, Fi quality of service is pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. It's not. I have not been happy with that. Download speeds suck.
Yeah. So, go ahead.
Okay. I mean, I've been pretty happy with Fi, but I don't live in a super populated area, so I get great speeds. My bill every month is usually around $50, I think, and the data sims are great, but I don't really have anything to use them in except when I'm reviewing a phone. What I'll do is I'll just throw the data sim in there first, so I can get data, and I just get text through Hangouts. So that's convenient.
No thanks. I do like with Project Fi that I'm back to the point where I can actually review phones because pretty much everything works with T-Mobile, but like everything else, I just want to switch back. I just want to go back to AT&T.
It's very dependent on how you use phones.
It is, and I use like on my average Verizon usage, I was between 12 and 15 every month. I stream a lot of music. I watch YouTube on the go sometimes, and I hate public Wi-Fi networks with a passion.
Well, if you use TunnelBear.
No, it's not like...
Speaking of our sponsor,
tunnelbear.com/Android police. Anyway, I just don't like the speed thing. Like, I understand that there's this group of people out there, they're the hypermilers of data. Like, so people who like maximize their gas mileage in their car, like people who buy Honda Insights, like those same people probably love Project Fi because it's like a game. You can gamify like your data savings because the app's constantly monitoring how much you use. The Project Fi app, by the way, is amazing. Like it's
it
the
is
best carrier
best
app.
the best carrier app.
Oh,
by
it's so
far.
good. I love it. It's
it actually feels wrong calling it a carrier app. It's
so good.
Yeah.
It's basically a wireless activity monitor app, as far as I'm concerned. Like it's pretty granular, and I just love all of like the data insight tools. Like it gets to the nerdy side of me where I'm like, bars and graphs and and numbers. It's so good. It really it quenches my thirst for data. But on the flip side, like, I want to watch YouTube in 1080p wherever I am. I don't care. And I don't want to deal with public Wi-Fi networks that have like 5 megabit download, or there's like 80 people on them and they're congested to the point of uselessness. So it's just like, maybe I feel like we're just like, maybe we're like another decade away from the point of public Wi-Fi and kind of like Wi-Fi as a utility being where it needs to for Project Fi to make sense is a real money-saving option for regular people. For people who are, let's say, enthusiastic about the prospect of saving money with it, I'm sure it's great. For people like me who need their data demands met immediately, not for any really good reason, but just because I want it now, it's less good. So, like, if I forget to download a podcast and I'm already in the car outside the house, I'm not going to go back in the house to download it. I'm going to download it in the car. Like, I don't care. I'm going to use that 50 megabytes of data. So, yeah. Anyway, that's my random Project Fi rant. But the international service thing's really cool. Dig it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it makes sense because most of, like, just like when I'm driving somewhere, I'll usually just listen to a podcast that Pocket Cast downloads ahead of time, so I don't use data for that. Sometimes I use Spotify. YouTube, I usually stick at 480p when I'm out of the house, just because I have the 5-inch pixel, so you can't really see the difference anyway. So, I mean, you can see it, but it's difficult because, again, it's a 5-inch screen. So, but yeah, I want a 4G Chromebook, and I don't know why no one has made one in the past 3 years.
The original Chromebook Pixel, I think.
Well, I think probably the code base support is limited, and also just like it's a cost thing, like the modem's a cost add. So, everybody in the Chromebook space fights for the lowest MSRP they can get by with.
Yeah.
So I think it's a bit of a different concern.
Well, we know that it would probably raise the Pixelbook 2's price by another $500 to get the modem.
Maybe like $100.
That's
but
that was a burn at the overpricedness of the Pixelbook.
As a person who does not have to pay for their Pixelbook, I'm completely fine with this.
So to be fair, let's be honest. If Apple does it, it'll be 9 months, and we'll see it on a Pixelbook guaranteed.
Yeah, I think Apple doing a modem. I think that's a good idea. That would actually make me kind of like I maybe want it back again.
I'm blown away that they haven't done it yet. There's got to be some sort of cost issue with them.
I think what they're waiting for is probably to do an in-house, or at least something they can rebrand as their own, like they've done with the Imagination Technologies GPUs.
So they're waiting for the ARM MacBooks, the A9. Whatever that's coming out.
But David, could you go from the Pixelbook's pretty excellent laptop keyboard to a MacBook? I think
it's so good. It's the best.
I think that would be a problem.
It is such a good laptop keyboard.
It's the best laptop keyboard. Like, I refuse to believe that anything is better.
And I will go out on a limb and say that the MacBook Pro has a terrible keyboard.
It is pretty bad.
Whoa, watch out.
I mean,
no, it's totally true.
That's the thing. The Pixelbook's keyboard is a little concrete-y too, but because it's membrane switches, there's a nice cushion there. Like, there's very little travel, but the key presses are firm enough that it feels very tactile in a way that I like. It's not like using real switches or anything, but it's right there. I go back to my XPS 13, and I'm like, this is literally a dumpster fire in a hurricane in a world war.
David, that keyboard sucks.
It does. It's the worst. Oh, it's so bad.
I hated using that keyboard.
It's like it's so spongy and springy.
It's painful.
It's like typing on a sponge.
Yeah,
like it is. It's really bad.
The 9370 is the exact same way. It was terrible.
Oh no, I can't stand it. And there are people who review these laptops and like, well, the keyboard's not great, but it's okay. And I'm like, no, this is an affront to everything we should stand for.
You're like, laptop's terrible. Then just buy a tablet. Why are you telling me to get a laptop?
Yeah. So anyway, 2nd gen Pixelbook. I think other things that could change. I still get crackling in my speakers sometimes on the Pixelbook. It seems to be a firmware issue. If I restart the laptop, it goes away, but they still haven't managed to fix it. So apparently, I'm guessing there's some kind of electrical issue going on causing that, and that they just haven't been able to sort it with fixes. Thicker backplating on the display for sure. I'm fine with the glass window. I think it looks great. Oh, the trackpad. So I love that it's huge, but if you're using the laptop in your lap in bed or whatever, you constantly like click the trackpad with your stomach. Like, I mean, even if I had it perfectly, yes, like, I think so.
You like cuddle up in bed with your laptop.
Absolutely,
David. What do you?
That's how I start my morning. I check my emails in bed. Who doesn't do this?
I wish I could say I did.
I am not the only person
every
who's
night.
complained about this.
My thing for a Pixelbook 2 is I want a black model.
Oh yes, I want the black model.
The wrist rest gets so nasty though.
Where's my rose gold Pixelbook?
I'll take a really cool Pixelbook, please.
And a light bar.
I would actually like 7 different colors of Pixelbook, one for each day of the week.
No, black.
I want the blue. The what was the name of the blue color on the Pixel 2?
Oh, really blue.
Really blue. I want a really blue.
Oh
blue
yes,
the first
that would be so nice.
Well, the second one was kind of blue.
But what would the accent color on the keyboard be? Oh, that's a fun question.
Purple.
Ooh.
No, it has to be Google color.
I don't understand.
This is a good one. Oh, I would say maybe I guess it would have to be a white keyboard on a blue laptop. I guess that would make.
I mean, you could go with like blue and purple and make it like Skeletor themed.
You could. That'd be awesome. That would potentially be awesome. Actually, I would go for like a teal blue, like Pixelbook with a purple keyboard. That would be amazing.
Go all Outrun 80s on it.
Okay, yeah. So actually, if T-Brand made a kit like that, that'd be. But I could go with that. Or actually, you know what? I think would be better would be purple aluminum and blue, like that tealy hot blue is the accent color. That would be Outrun, and it would be. Wow. It would be delicious.
It would be spectacular.
Yeah,
the ultimate look at me laptop.
Oh, it would be. It would be
it's like a
so
sports
good.
car laptop.
I want it. I want it very much.
Really quick. Also, Carson Saldana points it out in the chat room. We need biometric login on the Pixelbooks.
Oh,
yeah, that's the other thing I was going to bring up. I really want to.
It's so good on a MacBook.
Maybe it's just going to be like Google's Face Unlock thing they do on the Pixel 3 is also going to be on the Pixelbook.
What I really like about, I just love having biometric on a laptop because like on the MateBook, you press and hold the power button for a second on boot and it reads your fingerprint as it's booting. So it just logs in after it's loaded Windows. That's what I like.
Maybe Google will copy Windows Hello for the Face Unlock.
Windows Hello is actually pretty good.
Yeah, I've heard it works well. I don't have anything that
works really well. Like on the 9370 for the XPS 13, it works very well.
I feel like it started working very well and it was good for about 6 months and then it started getting really janky. At least that was my experience with it. And it's not like I changed my look in that time. It just started not recognizing me sometimes. Or it would take really weirdly long times to like get started.
It depends on the hardware you have, I think, because I know on a Dell laptop that I have, it takes a good 5 or 6 seconds for it to start the IR camera that does Windows Hello. And at that time, I could have just typed my password.
Yeah.
I haven't had that issue on either the new XPS 13 or the MateBook. So maybe because those are just higher end machines. I don't know.
Well,
okay. So moving on to news that is much more boring. LG's mobile division, this will come as a shock to people. It's still losing money. I couldn't believe it. I read the story.
Water is wet, the sun is shining, and LG's mobile division is bleeding money.
Yeah. So how much money did they lose this time?
So they lost 171.95 million in the last.
Oh.
Which is a lot, and it's actually substantially more than the 117 million that they lost in Q2 last year.
Oh.
So things not going great. It turns out that releasing the V30 8 times is not a winning strategy. Who do you think would have told them that? Do you think anybody told LG that was a bad idea, like when they announced it?
No, I don't think anybody said anything like that.
Yeah, well, no. But it turned out a bad idea. But like the overall company is still making good money. Like they're that's why they're okay still losing all this money on phones, because phones are cool.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's sad to see, because I think LG does have some good ideas. I think the V40 is going to be a total bust in terms of consumer interest, though. I think people are past the point where LG phones are like an interesting idea.
Well, and the G7 branding, the name was just bad.
Yeah, this like ThinQ thing is just so dumb and bad, and like it doesn't do anything different. This whole thing is weird. Like the camera AI is a complete and utter joke.
Yeah.
I don't need my camera to tell me when it sees ham. I can tell. I know when I'm looking at ham. Okay.
God damn it, LG! I know when I'm looking at ham. I don't need you to tell me.
Everything is ham.
But at LG, last year they blamed bad sales of the G6 for the loss. This year they didn't really say like, oh, the G7 is selling badly. They're like, the conditions are challenging, and we're going to keep trying to increase sales of our flagship phones. And also we're going to improve our business structure, which I think is code for we're going to fire all the executives yet again.
Oh, of course, absolutely. LG has to go through the ritual firing of the executives. It's like a rite of passage at LG Mobile every 2 years.
Mm-hmm. So that's going to happen, but I don't know. That's LG.
That's LG, and that's the story. So our last story tonight on the show. The Xiaomi Mi A2 and A2 Lite are announced, and I think these are the A2, which is the successor to the A1. They're Android One phones. The A2, the most interesting thing to me about it, I think it looks like a substantial spec bump from the Mi A1. It looks like a more powerful phone.
It was 625 to a 660, I think.
Yeah,
and 660 is a good mid range.
It's a good chip.
Yeah. So the other thing is they're ditching the headphone jack on a budget phone. That's terrifying.
I don't like this president.
Yeah.
But the A2
I don't
Lite
like him either, Corbin, but let's talk about phones. So this is actually a pretty powerful phone, up to 6 gigs of RAM in a mid-range phone.
It's DDR4 RAM too.
I really would like this phone to come to the US, and I know it's not going to, but it looks like a very good budget phone.
This is so much better than anything we get in the US.
Yeah, for real. Like if they launched this in the United States, it would there would be no reason to buy a Moto G6.
Yeah, I bet the camera is a potato, but the rest of the phone I bet's fantastic.
Now the camera on the A1 actually wasn't that bad. It was pretty good. I think the HDR, if I remember right, was a little wonky, but the camera itself was actually pretty decent.
It has a really wide aperture on the rear camera. It's pretty impressive. And I think
Bluetooth 5.0.
So it has an 18.9 display, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean it looks like a great phone. I will say that, with the Google software, Xiaomi phones are pretty appealing.
Yeah. If Xiaomi ever gets around to expanding to the US, I hope they do it with an Android One phone. Because
MIUI isn't going to fly here.
Yeah, there are a lot of problems with MIUI that I think will not fly with American consumers.
Yeah,
and also Apple.
Yeah. They probably get.
Oh yeah, I kind of bet Apple is just waiting for it. They're just like they've got the complaint drafted, everything's ready to go. Every time Xiaomi releases a new phone, they just amend it with new screenshots. So
they finally ended their fight with Samsung. They got to go fight someone else.
Does it have USB-C? Oh, so it does have USB-C.
Yeah, the cheaper one doesn't. I think the cheaper one is.
Cheaper one has a notch and micro USB.
Ew.
Like it looks like a G7 sort of. It's got a notch up at the top. And
so did they release Chinese price? They did. They released Chinese and EU pricing. That's pretty good. Oh, so €249 for the 4GB model. That's a good price.
Yeah.
And the Mi 2 Lite at €180. So I mean that'd probably be $180 in the US most likely, or close to it.
Yeah, man. I really want this to come to the US.
That would be the craziest budget phone here.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping I get.
Can't Xiaomi just like toss a couple crates on a ship and just send it on over here? Like
it looks like a good phone.
We won't tell anyone.
I think these are honestly, from a value standpoint, much more appealing than Nokia's phones. You're getting a lot, especially the big battery in the Lite. Which is funny to me. The Lite version has the massive battery, and the regular one is just like, it's a normal 3,000 milliampere battery. I don't get why they didn't really. I guess the Lite is probably tailored to India.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where the market they're going for with that version.
Yeah.
Because it's like the Moto Z2 Play has 625, right? Or is it 630?
Which phone?
Or the Z3? Wait, which one is it?
The Z3 is a.
Yeah, maybe it's the Z2 Play that had the 625. But anyway, it's a whole lot of phone for the money. That is very impressive what they've achieved, because $180 would be like the Moto E5 Plus, or maybe even the Moto G6 Play, probably abouts, right? The Play, the Play is way cheaper than that, right?
It would be cheaper than an Honor 7X, which is crazy.
Yeah, Xiaomi still really does get very, very good in terms of their pricing on this low end stuff.
G6 Play is like $200.
Yeah, so it's basically a G6 Play competitor and probably twice the phone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it will get updates.
Yep.
And no,
Xiaomi has been really bad with Android.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's true. It will get updates, and then it'll get pulled, and then they'll get an update again, and then it'll get pulled
6 months later.
Yeah. and then you might get the update and it'll wipe out your contacts.
Yeah. So I think they look good. I would like to try out, honestly, the Lite version. The regular one looks like good, but I want to try the Lite version because that's more interesting to me. I think the cheaper one, especially in terms of like what's going on with the Android Go, it's not in the Android Go price range, but I just feel like, anything under $200, like I would never advise anyone spend $100 on a phone. I would say you get an infinitely better experience for $200, and this looks like the very best $200 experience you could buy.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I'm really hoping Xiaomi sends me the Mi A2 because I really want to try it. I really liked the A1 last year. It was really nice.
Yeah. They still haven't sent me a Mi Mix 2S, so
yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Hopefully.
Hope.
And Ryan really wanted to try the Lite, I assume, because he wants to try a budget phone that is not hot garbage.
He needs to do a month with Android 1, which is fantastic.
That would be like
That's just a normal month, yeah.
I have to say, like, I appreciate that Ryan used that terrible phone for a month. Like, that's real commitment, but it also makes me question his discipline skills because
it doesn't make me question anything because his post did like crazy numbers.
Yeah.
So I'm totally fine with it. Ryan's suffering is acceptable for Patriots.
Plus it's fun.
Yeah.
That should be the title of this episode, by the way.
What, Ryan's suffering?
Ryan's suffering is acceptable for Patriots.
It is.
I'll write it down so remember to do that on the SoundCloud. Okay, I think we're out of stuff to talk about finally.
I think we are.
We're almost an hour.
Oh yeah, so it's a good time for us to stop.
Yes.
Oh, we got a troll.
Yeah, but we killed him.
That's nice.
Our first Twitch troll. We made it. We're famous.
No, this is our second.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Well, it's my first Twitch troll, so let's not, let's not minimize.
We're not diminishing David's troll.
Welcome to Twitch, David.
No one has posted Kappa in the chat yet. We're still waiting for that.
All right. Well, yeah, that wraps up our topics for the week. And I want to thank one more time our sponsor, TunnelBear. If you're looking for a VPN, just go to tunnelbear.com/Android, please. Check them out. It supports the show if you go, and we just, would like you to check out the service. It really is a good VPN service, and their security and privacy first focus does make them stand out there. They offer a promise I think not a lot of services can make in this sector. So $5 a month for a VPN if you sign up for their annual billing plan, or $10 a month if you want to try it out. Or if you just want to really try it out on a limited basis, you can use it for free up to 500 megabytes.
Yeah. Hooray.
So as before we wrap up here, Sean's talking about the Lenovo Smart Speaker. We don't have a unit to talk about yet. I think we probably want somebody on the team to get one before we discuss it on the show. So hopefully we'll get one in the next week or so, and somebody can talk about it. I too am interested.
Yes.
I haven't read any of the reviews yet, but yeah, it's definitely an interesting product.
Costco has it for $200.
Costco already has it? Right, somebody should just buy it.
I'll just buy one and write it off.
Yeah, I think so. All right. But that wraps up the show, everybody. And we hope you'll be joining us next week.
Good night, everyone.